Tonight, the stage is set at New Smyrna Speedway to crown the first ever TDR Whelen Modified Series champion. Stevie Melson, the current points leader, holds a 13-point advantage over second place running Frank Divin Sr. and a 16-point lead over third place running Kelly Horner. Philip Cash Jr. and Martin Karch are both 21 points back in fourth and fifth as we burn it to the ground one last time this season with the earth-shaking, ground-pounding TDR Whelen Modified Series live next on DR TV.
Welcome race fans to DRTV. Tonight we're with the TDR Whelens series. This is their season finale here at New Smyrna Speedway. Looks like we're doing 150 laps around the track tonight. At pit window should be 88 to about 94 laps. We'll have to see how that pans out as we get the race going underway. Moderate damage. Pit frequency is going to be X2 or 2 times, so they're going to have some tire wear involved. So it's going to be interesting. Up in the booth with these guys, Todd Stanton, myself, Rich Patton down here in the controls, and Assistant Todd with the broadcasting or with the announcing. Todd, I think we're in for one heck of a show tonight here at this short track here in New Smyrna Beach, Florida.
Yes, indeed, New Smyrna Beach, Florida for New Smyrna Speedway. Wow, what a tongue twister, like you said earlier to me. It's going to be a tongue twister tonight, but these guys are going to put on a pretty good show here this evening. I think the track is real racy out there tonight, Rich. I didn't get a chance to get out on the track, but from what the cars are doing around the track right now, it looks real racy.
Yeah, most definitely. We got a bunch of big names out here in this race tonight. Not quite the full field we would normally see in the Whelen Series on a Saturday night. This is Valentine's Day, so that probably has some effect to it. There's also a bunch of racing going over, not very far up the road at Daytona today. And a lot going on here in Florida this week. So here at New Smyrna, I think we're on for one heck of a show in these Whelen cars. I know there's not a lot of cars out here tonight compared to what we normally have in this field. But one definite thing that we're going to see here is possibly a good fight for the championship. As you know, 95 of Steve Melson is currently our points leader. The only person here tonight that's got a shot at him is going to be Kelly Horner, but he's got to make up 13 points, and that's going to be quite a big gap to fill if we don't have a full field here tonight, Todd.
Yeah, right now we're sitting about 12 racers. We are 4 shy of what Kelly Horner needs. If there's some racers out there, I believe there's 7 minutes left to practice here, and they have not shown up. There might be some still on their way. Some haulers still stuck in traffic down here. So hopefully we can get a couple more racers to come in, and hopefully we'll have a showdown for this points championship. But if nobody shows up, Stevie Melson's going to be your points leader. But Frank Divins said last week he would not be here. He was second place in points, so he's going to take a heck of a shot in the points. Right now your current points leader is Stevie Melson. Frank Divins was 13 points back. Third place is Kelly Horner, 16 points back. Martin Karch, 21 points back. Philip Cass was also 21 points back. And Joe Archer's 31 points back. The rest of the field was 65 points on back.
Yeah, most definitely. The later part of the top 10 in points, I don't think they've got a shot, for any of this. But I think the duel tonight is going to be to see what Kelly Horner and Steve Melson do. I think those are going to be the top runners tonight. But like we said, we've got a lot of big names right there in them points that are here tonight. And I think, regardless of the points battle, even if Steve Melson takes the championship for this season, I think we're in for some good racing. And I'm hoping we're going to see a lot of side-by-side action in these corners tonight.
Yeah, I talked to some of the drivers earlier, and they said it was real racy. Like I said earlier, it's a real racy track. Seems like they'll be able to get some side-by-side action, maybe even 3 wide in the corners. I don't recommend that on a short track, but a lot of these guys aren't scared to push the issue. Some of these drivers that are here, Dave Melson, you got Adam Hallam on board, you got the high-side hustler, Martin Karch, you got Hot Rod, you got Joe Archer, the Machine, you got Dean Woodward, Keith Patton, Phil Cass, Kelly Horner, of course, Randy Schneider showing up late, but he's also here. And there's a couple other drivers. I believe Robert Balcom was here earlier, was having some issues, but I believe you'll see him back. He was leading the race last week for quite a bit, and he had some issues there towards the end, and wasn't able to bring home the win. But he enjoys this series after talking to him earlier on in the going, and he enjoys it, and hopefully it brings back.
Yeah, most definitely. Like I said, I think we're in for some good things. I'm going to try to see if we can get our other DRTV crew member, who is actually racing on the track tonight. He's currently sitting in fourth, well, actually tied for fourth in points for the championship. Phil, it's Rich and Todd up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
10-4, guys. How you doing?
Pretty good. The field is pretty much set. Looks like, there's possibly some changing going around in the point standings for the championship, but there's some big names out there with you on the track tonight. How do you feel about the car? What's the track feel like? And, what's it like running around these guys during practice right now?
Well, the track and the setup are real good. Track's real fast. I think you guys will see that. Have a really good show here. I think it should put on a really good race this evening. Smyrna's a tricky little place. I mean, it's going to be tough to pass. You're really going to have to set it up in entrance to the corner to beat a guy off. So, but I think it's going to be all right. And everything out here in practice, everything seems good. A lot of fast cars out there. 95 looks stout. A couple of guys out there. 33 looks pretty quick. 34 looks fast. 21's always quick. So, I think for what we got here, it's going to be a great show, and I think you guys should have a great broadcast up here.
All right, 10-4, Phil. We appreciate you coming up and spending some time with us. Todd, you got anything for Phil before we let him loose?
No, I want to say good luck to him, and hopefully he can salvage a nice top 5 out of this and bring home at least the top 5 in points here and stay inside the top 5. Don't let the machine there get you.
Now, we're going to do our best to do that, and while I got this second here on DRTV, I'd like to thank you guys for doing this off of the series. Everybody here at TDR really appreciates you guys, work you guys have put in for the series. It's been a lot of fun for me to be a part of, and Todd, thank you for letting me get behind the wheel. It's been a good time. I'll be back with you full-time start next week before we're back here. But I'd like to thank every driver, all the guys that come out here and supported this series, turn laps with us. It's been a lot of fun. Can't wait to put this series back together again next winter. It should be a really, really good time. So I want to thank everybody, and it should be a good show. I'm going to try to put this thing to the front.
All right, Phil, we'll let you get back to it. There you have it, race fans. Phil Lacasse out running into number 4 tonight around New Smyrna Speedway, currently in the points chase. Doesn't look like he's got much of a shot to get up towards the front unless something really crazy happens, but definitely going for a good spot in the points.
Yeah, he has a possible shot at second in points if Horner has a bad night. Divins, is not here. He was 13 points back, and Phil was only 8 points back of him, but he's also got to worry about the high-side hustler, Martin Karch. Martin, real stout on these short tracks, and if anybody can find the high side, Martin Karch can.
Yeah, most definitely. I remember we were talking to him a little bit earlier today, and he said that's what he was struggling with. He was trying to find out where that top groove is going to be tonight. As we saw, I believe it was just last week's race, was making some unbelievable passes on the top side, towards the latter part of that race. And he likes to stir things up a little bit. He likes to run on that high side. So we could see some interesting things out of Martin tonight.
Yeah, needless to say, there's some other good drivers in the field. Actually, I think all of these guys are real good drivers. Any one of these guys could win on any given night, any series. And, got to give a shout-out to Dean Woodward. He's had some good runs here in the past, and he hasn't made it to victory lane. There's a lot of good drivers that haven't made it to victory lane in the TDR Whelen Modified Series. 3 wins on the season for Mr. Stevie Melson. You have 2 wins on the season for David Day, who's also not in attendance. You have 3 wins for Frank Divins Sr. You have a win for Martin Karch. Hopefully there'll be a new driver in victory lane here this evening. I'd like to see the new fresh faces in victory lane and see some of these guys come to the top and finally get their first TDR Whelen Modified win. And what better night to do it on than championship night? Yeah,
most definitely. These guys are slowly ticking down on the clock on practice. Looks like there's only about 20-some seconds left in practice, so they'll be pulling off the track here pretty soon, possibly going into their driver meeting next, and then get into qualifying. Then once we get into qualifying, we're going to run out happy hour, probably get another interviewer in or so before we go green, and then we'll get this 150-lap finale underway.
Yeah, call indeed is going down for the drivers' meeting. I believe they're going to do a quick server reset like they've done in the past here at the TDR Whelen Modified Series, just to make sure they have a fresh server here for the race this evening, and make sure that we have no glitches, which will be awesome here for this finale here at the new Smyrna Speedway in the 150 miles around this track. Well, not quite 150 miles, 150 laps around New Smyrna Speedway. Rich, I believe you got the sponsors you'd like to thank here on DRTV.
Yeah, we definitely wouldn't be doing this stuff without the sponsors. First sponsor, of course, we want to talk about tonight is TDR Sim Racing. This is the league that puts on this series for everybody to come out Saturday night and run these short tracks with these Whelens. I know they got a lot of things coming up. A new series starting tomorrow, and then of course next week's going to kick off the big DRL Racing DRTV TDR series and the Cup schedule. So a lot of big things going on at TDR. Real good league to get involved with, a bunch of good drivers, and of course they're pulling in drivers from a lot of other excellent leagues as well. So good crowd to be in, I think.
Yeah,
next we'd like to talk about DRTV television, sim racing television. You guys can get all your sim racing broadcasting needs at drlracing.com. Come over there, check us out. We've got our archive videos available, our next live shows available. DRL Radio, of course, is on there as well, and you can pretty much see all of our scheduled events coming up anytime you need to, along with finding out information for getting your league on DRTV as well. So, good place to check things out. Next thing up on the docket is going to be NRT Race Servers. NRT Race Servers is the place where a lot of us go to get our race servers, not only for racing, but other games as well. So Dave over at NRT is always taking care of all of us, and he's always there available. The support is unbelievable. So if you're looking for a game server of any kind, NRT Servers is probably the best place to go. And then last but not least, we're going to talk about DRL Radio. It's a new thing that we've got going on here at DRTV or DRL Racing. And basically, we have a lot of stuff in store for that. Todd, maybe you want to tell the crowd a little bit about what we got going on at DRL Radio and what our future plans are for it.
Well, there is some future plans for DRL Radio. There's going to be a lot of interesting things, some shows on there between myself and Racer and yourself, Rich. You're gonna be on this show. We're gonna have weekly recaps of different league events. So if you have league events that you want to send into DRL Radio, it'll be available as soon as we get everything in line, and then we'll be able to get all your events out there. We'll have a talk show and talk to everybody, pull in special guests, even some bigger names in different tracks. It doesn't typically have to be about the game, Rich. We're going to have some driver interviews in the future from maybe even dirt tracks around the local United States, local New York. It could be Florida. It could be anywhere. We'll get some driver interviews in on there. We have some great music on there, different genres, playing every 3 hours right now. You got country and rock and roll, of course. Rock and roll, one of my favorites, and so isn't country. So it's going to be fitting for the sim racer. And if you want to also get involved into some commercials for your league events, you can send those our way, and we'll let us know what you have going on that particular night, and we'll make sure that we air it on DRL Radio.
Yeah, most definitely, Todd. A lot of big things in store for DRL Radio. We've been working on this for a while. Still got a few bugs to work out, like you say, but I think it's going to be very useful to the sim community. And I know we got a lot of people staying tuned with us pretty much 24/7 nowadays. So it's going to be a big event. I'm proud of it, and I'm proud that you and Phil are also involved in that to make it even better. So thanks again for that as well. I know that the drivers are pulling off the track right now. They're currently getting involved in their drivers meeting. So I believe we're going to go ahead and get our sponsor commercial out of the way. We'll kick this off to our our NRT server commercial, and we'll be back live with you guys, race fans, in just one moment. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
NRT Game Servers is your best option for your gaming development needs. State-of-the-art technology combined with some of the best voice talent and software out there, NRT gives a quality gaming experience. Dedicated to their craft, NRT provides quality product and services. Contact NRT Game Servers today at 828-212-4040 or at www.nrtservers.com today for a quality gaming experience.
Welcome back to DRTV and our live coverage of the new Smyrna Speedway, the TDR Whelen Modified Series championship night here for the TDR Whelen Modified Series. And if you guys are just joining us, Stevie Melson right now, your current points leader. You got Divins right now 13 points back and Horner 16 points back. Divins not here, but Horner has a shot at this points championship here this evening. Top six really close, separated by 31 points. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to come out on top for the TDR Whelen Modified Series Championship. First ever here on DRTV.
Yeah, most definitely. This is closing out a pretty intense season. Started out a little low. They got a lot of cautions early on. They had a lot of new drivers new to short track racing. They had to learn the ropes. And, you know, they did have quite a few races in the beginning of their season that pretty much were congested with cautions. And they've stuck with it, and we've gotten to this place. Cautions seem to be under control. I think this track tonight is going to be some good heads-up racing. I think we've got a lot of big names here. Not too many names on the docket that are usually involved in cautions, so I think we're in for a good show, Todd. I know I keep saying that, but I really do believe it. I think we're good. We're going to see a good 150 laps out of this track tonight.
I think so. The setup's fitting too. It looks like the setup's real sound. And we had Phil on the broadcast here a little earlier, and Phil even said it was sound. And for Phil to say it's sound, you know he's going somewhere. And hopefully he goes to the front. Like to see him have a good race here this evening. A lot of these guys been racing with each other all season long, and a lot of these guys don't want to see this series end. But we do have, like you said, the DRTV 300 coming up next weekend. That's going to be the premier series here with DRL and TDR are putting on, and that's going to be an interesting show. We got some other upcoming events here live on DRTV. We got Blazing Pedals here tomorrow night. Blazing Pedals 500 at the Bermuda Triangle. That's going to be an interesting event too, Rich.
Yeah, most definitely. That's a crazy track. I know we were working on it last night, getting our cameras edited, getting everything ready. There's palm trees, there's cliffs, there's a beach with the ocean. I mean, it's in the Bermuda Triangle. It's crazy. 2.5 mile track, a tri-oval, almost like Pocono, but it's banked nice. I think, you know, we're going to see a lot of 2 and 3 wide racing around that track tomorrow night. And, you know, as you said, it is the BP 500. We're going to be running a full 100% race on that track. So it's going to be a long one, and there's going to be a lot of big names in that race and a lot of cars. I think we're looking at 35 cars, which is basically a full field in this game with us broadcasting. So I think we're in for a good show tonight. It looks like the drivers are now getting into qualifying, so we should start seeing qualifying times start popping up here shortly. You'll see if we can't get this up on the grid for everybody to stay tuned as the drivers are actually qualifying.
As Rich gets that grid up there for you, the fans out there on YouTube, going to see what kind of qualifying times he got. I'm going to predict that Stevie Melson ends up with the pole. He's been the fastest in practice all evening long, and I'm just going to predict that he gets the pole. I'm not saying anything about any other people, but a lot of these guys don't put up huge qualifying times, but they race real well, and then you got the guys that do put up good qualifying times and don't race very well, but it could go either way, Rich. As right now I'm seeing some of these stats start coming across Stevie Melson right now. Your current pole sitter was 16.392, but now he even bettered that lap to 16.331. Dave Melson right now sitting second with 16.503, but that could change as everybody's still completing their qualifying laps.
Yeah, most definitely they're getting a couple laps around. As you can see, they're slowly starting to fill our positions. Currently got 10 drivers right now that have taken time so far. A lot of 16-second laps right there. Everything, 16.9 down to 16.3. A lot of 16.5s, couple 16.6s right now. So it looks like it should be a pretty tight field overall.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a real tight field with Stevie Melson right now. He's trying to run away and hide. He wants to win this championship in spectacular fashion, winning the pole and trying to win this race. And right now it looks like Robert Balcom just moved up to second outside with a 16.442. That's a good lap around the new Smyrna Speedway, Rich.
Yeah, most definitely the 21 of Kelly Horner made his first lap. Looks like he got a 16.521. I think we're still waiting on his second lap to come in. It'd be interesting to see if Kelly jumps up a little bit higher, but he's got a lot of fast names in front of him right now too. So right now, what's on the board, the top 5 are pretty fast drivers. They're very well known for short track racing. Not mentioning anything bad about 6 on back, but those top 5 cars right there are names I expected to see in the top 5.
Yeah, they definitely are names, Rich, that we expected to see in the top 5 here this evening. These guys have been strong all season long. Anybody that's inside that top 5, and you got Stevie Melson, he's points leader. You got Karch, who's inside the top 5. You got Horner, who's inside the top 5 right now. Them guys are in the top 5 in points. So not to say anything about Robert Balcom. Balcom has had some good shows here. He didn't get to race the whole season with us here in the TDR Whelen Modified Series, but Balcom's had some good races too, so he's been pretty stout. Dave Melson's just outside the top 10. Hasn't been able to show up to every race, but he's been pretty good all season long too.
Yeah, most definitely. Went ahead and got them times back up as the drivers are coming out on the track right now for happy hour. Qualifying is now over. I do have the qualifying positions and laps still showing on the screen for the race fans. Looks like we've got just under 5 minutes remaining on happy hour, so they're going to run a 5-minute happy hour or so, and then we'll get these cars out on the grid and get these 150 laps of Green Flag Thunder rolling here before too long. So we'll see if we can get a hold of a driver or two, get them up in here and kind of check on them. I think if I can, I want to try to get Steve Melson, our current points leader, up here. Let me see if I can get him on the radio real quick. Todd, give me a second. Hey Steve, it's Rich and Todd up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy? Hey, I can barely hear you a little bit there, Steve. Don't want to interrupt you too much. I know you got a lot on your mind. You're racing for a points championship tonight, and it looks like you might have this thing wrapped up even going into this event. How are you feeling right now about that, and what is your game plan?
I'm not sure I have it completely wrapped up. I don't think I can finish dead last here, but I'm not just trying to ride around tonight. I'm going to go for that victory tonight.
10-4, I hear that. Put the nail in the coffin, as they might say. You've got a lot of strong competitors right behind you on the grid. Top 5 are some big names in short track racing. They're all going to be quick. They're all going to be gunning for you. You got something for them tonight, or are you going to ride it out and see how it plays out?
I'm going to ride it out, try to stay at the front for the first half of the race, and then I'm going to go for it the second half and see what I can't do.
All right, 10-4. Before we get this thing underway and you get Green Flag Racing, where business is serious, you want to give a shout out to any of your race fans watching tonight before you get busy?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to my good friends Randy and Shannon who are watching tonight. Hope they enjoy the race and hope I can pull off the win.
All right, well there you have it, race fans. Todd, you got anything for Steve before we let him go back out there and play with these guys?
Good luck tonight, Steve. I'd like to see you down here in Victory Lane again and cap off a great season here with the TDR Whelen Modified Series.
Thank you very much, guys, for all you do as well.
All right, Steve, no problem. We appreciate you being out here. And just a heads up, if you do make the championship, no matter which place you play in tonight, you can sure bet you're going to be up here in the booth with us after the race, buddy. So hopefully we get to see you again later, all right? All right, well, there you have it, race fans. He's got fans out in the crowd watching us live on YouTube tonight. Just to give you guys a heads up on YouTube, we are monitoring the chat box on YouTube. Anything that you put in there, I am watching. And if you do shout-outs to your drivers or rooting for your fans or for your favorite driver, we'll be sure to get that over the air. And if possible during the race, we'll try to get your driver on the air for an interview as well. So, Todd, I think we're going to get busy here shortly. We got under 2 minutes left to go in happy hour. What do you think?
I'm still thinking it's going to be a great race here this evening. Can't wait to see who's going to come out on top here at the new Smyrna Speedway. Can't wait to see. I'm kind of sad to see this series end. It's one of my favorite series, and short tracks is my realm of announcing and my realm of just everything. I love short tracks, Rich, and it's going to be sad to see this series end. But as you heard Phil earlier, the series is coming back right after the Cup Series.
Yeah, most definitely. There's a lot of people gunning for that Cup Series that wants to run the actual Cup schedule. A lot of people are looking forward to that, but like you said, this Whelen Series is very popular. So I think the plan right now, like you say, is we're going to run the Cup and then back and forth to the Whelen. So we're going to go Cup racing, then back to short track racing, and pretty much how Saturday nights are going to run here at TDR. So it sounds like a lot of fun racing going on. I got up on the camera right now for our race fans, just to give you a heads up. We have now become notorious for what we call the punt cam. The punt cam on this track is a little bit different. We're actually going to watch cars come in from pit entrance looking down pit road. So if they make mistakes or whatever, we're going to catch them going down pit road if they don't get into the wall and whatnot. So when we see green flag pit stops getting ready to come, or we think they're in that pit window, we're going to throw that punt cam up there for you guys so you guys can see how these guys are getting in and out of the pits. So hopefully that brings on another level of excitement for us tonight.
Yeah, great addition to DRTV, Rich. Got to thank you for putting that in there, because that makes things real interesting in the broadcast. I get to watch them after the fact. I have to mute them because I don't like to listen to myself. But we've seen this punt cam in effect, and it's an amazing thing to see what happens on pit road. It gets to be a very, very busy place down there.
Yeah, most definitely. And, especially if we start seeing the green flag pit stops like we're hoping to, I think it's going to get busy down there. As you can see now, the pace car has gotten out on pit road. Cars are starting to line up on the grid. So we're getting ready to get this thing underway, Todd.
Yep, now going to give the starting lineup for the finale here at New Smyrna Speedway in the TDR Whelen Modified Series. Starting on the pole, the number 95, that's Stevie Melson. He is your current points leader. His dancing partner to the outside, that's the number 18, that's Robert Balcom. Inside, row number 2, starting in the third starting position, that's the number 28, that's Dave Melson. Outside of him, that's the high side hustler, that's the number 33, that's Martin Karch. Inside, row number 3, starting in the fifth starting position, that's the number 21, that's Kelly Horner. He will be gunning for Stevie Melson's championship here in that number 21. Outside of him is the number 5. That's the machine. That's Joe Archer. Starting 7th on the field, that's the number 67. That's Adam Helm. Outside of him in that Hatfield and McCoy Moonshine sponsored number 34. That's Dean Woodward. Inside row number 5. Starting in the 9th starting position, that's the number 48. That's Phil Class Jr. He's 4th in points right now, looking to get 2nd at least in points here this evening. 10th on the starting grid, that's the number 9, that's Randy Schneider. 11th is the 069, that's Keith Patton. Outside of him is the number 14, you'll see him as Hot Rod on there, that's Mike Ross. And that is your field here for the new Smyrna 150 here, final race of the TDR Whelen Modified Series. Rich?
Yeah, most definitely. Pace car is slowly pacing them around into turn 3. Pace car pulls off the track. And it looks like Melson is going to bring this 2 lanes of ground-pounding thunder down the front stretch, keeping their eye on the flag man. They're looking for the green flag. Green flag is out, and we are underway as they go into turn 1, Todd.
Yeah, Stevie Melson down to the bottom side. Balcom slips up the track. Here comes Dave Melson down underneath the number 18. Dave Melson's going to move into second right behind Stevie Melson. They're 1-2 right now. Balcom running third in that number 18.
Yeah, most definitely. Right behind him, the 33 of Martin Karch and the 21 of Kelly Horner, and then 6 currently the number 5 of the machine, Joe Archer. Looks like everybody's pretty much gotten single file as they're down the backstretch into 3 and out of turn 4. Very small little track. They're getting around this thing very quickly. Your leader has got a good 4-car jump on second place right now. Second place on back. Looks like they're a little bottled up, still single file lines.
Yeah, it looks like Robert Balcom, the number 18 K&N sponsored machine, had a little trouble there with his connection. Martin Karch trying to get around him in that number 33. He peeked down to the inside momentarily and actually backed off, pulled in behind him. So right now Martin Karch sitting in that 4th position in that number 33. Joe Archer in that number 5 machine running in a solid 5th right now.
Yeah, most definitely not a lot of battling going on for positions. We still got a long ways to go. We're only currently on lap 5 of 150 laps. It looks like the top 5 might be pulling away a little bit. Of course, your leader is still way out front right now. It doesn't look like anybody's challenging him. I know Steve said earlier he was going to try to take it easy and just ride, kind of feel out the first half of the race. But looks like that clean air is letting him do a little bit more than that.
Yeah, it does look like right now as he's got a 0.83 second lead over second place running Dave Melson. Robert Balcom still sitting in that third spot. He had a challenge there momentarily from the 33 of Martin Karch, and Karch was looking low, and then he backed out of it once again. Karch again looking low underneath the 18, does not have the momentum off the corner right now as Balcom is sticking it up, coming off the corner high, and it looks like he's getting a ton more momentum than the 33 of Karch.
Yeah, but I don't know how much further Martin is going to stay behind him. I've got the 18 blinking a little bit as Martin goes down on the inside. He blinks a little bit. They should have made contact, but they didn't, possibly because he blinked out. Martin is now taking over that position with the 18 staying right on his tail.
Yeah, it looks like Martin Karch falls into that third spot. Balcom having trouble with his connection in that number 18 K&N sponsored machine. Next guy that's going to be gunning for him is the number 21 of Kelly Horner, right now running second in points. He is hating seeing the number 95 of Stevie Melson right now up front. Gunner wants to be in that position because he's going to have to be, because Stevie Melson has to finish way behind Gunner. Gunner has to get that win here this evening in order to even have a shot at this title.
Yeah, most definitely looks like the last lap by Adam Holm in the 67 might have gotten around 5 of Joe Archer. It looks like possibly Dean Woodward in the 34, I believe it is also looking to try to get around Joe Archer. So going to be interesting to see how far or how long he stays behind Archer before he makes a move. He's been staying right up on the back end of his car for a good lap or two already.
Yeah, Woodward still sitting in right now that 8th position, but Woodward is a guy that gets on the track and he don't turn a lot of laps, but the more the race goes on, you start seeing that 34 gain towards the front, and you start seeing him pick off people one by one by one. Good tire conserver in that number 34 machine right now, peaking lower than the number 5 of Joe Archer. They are side by side there momentarily, and they're going to be side by side down there into one. Archer is on the top shelf of the Speedway. Dean Woodward does hit that apron here momentarily. That's going to get him loose, and that's going to give Archer some breather room there.
Yeah, most definitely. It looked like Woodward was going to have position on him. If he wouldn't have caught that apron and upset his car a little bit, I think he would have came out on top in that corner. But because of that apron, he had to let off of it, regain control, and drop back in. But it looks like he's looking down below him again, trying to take the position from him here in this corner. They're side by side going through the corners. Yeah,
coming off of 4 right now. Woodward had the slight advantage, but motoring on the top side is the machine Joe Archer. They're side by side. He's going to drift way up the track. That's going to leave it wide open for the number 34, Dean Woodward. Woodward going to go into that number 7th position with that number 34 machine. It looks like Joe Archer starting to slip back as he left the door open for the number 48 of Phil Cass and the 069 of Keith Patton. Archer falling back now in the 11th position in that number 5 machine.
Yeah, most definitely. He got up in that high side. I'm not sure if he got into the marbles or what, but it just looked like he let out of it for a moment, and it pretty much let everybody take advantage of him. So now he's at the back of the field. He's going to have to regain himself, get back in his rhythm, and see if he can work his way back up into the middle of this pack, if not towards the front.
Now looking up towards the front, I was looking at the stats, and it looked like Martin Karch has caught second place running Dave Melson as yellow flag's going to be out on the field. First caution here at the new Smyrna Speedway here for the DRTV final event here for the TDR Whelen Modified Series.
Yep, most definitely. Getting a shout out from the chat box. Frank Divins, who normally runs with us, he says he's watching live from Daytona. Congrats to the 38 on the championship. He'll be back next week to be running with us. So evidently Frank Divins is just right up the road here from the track, watching the events over at Daytona possibly. So hats off to Frank Divins. Sorry we're missing you out here tonight, buddy, but I'm sure you're having plenty of fun on your own there. So we'll see you guys back next week. Definitely, Frank. Have a good one, buddy. Thanks for watching.
I believe Rich is going to find what happened out there on the Speedway here at the new Smyrna Speedway. All these cars down on pit road. The number 95 is Steve Melson getting 4 tires, and he's getting ready to pull away. Looks like he's going to pull away with the lead once again. Dave Melson going to be second off of pit road. Looks like Dean Woodward in the number 34 might have been third coming off the pit road in line. And Martin Karch is going to drop a couple positions, and behind them guys in that number 33 machine is going to wait for this lineup to reset and restack here when we go across the start-finish line. Going to cover the number 48 of Phil Cash Jr.'s pit stop. He's going to pull into his pit stall real slow. He's going to get right side tires on that number 48 TDR TV sponsor machine. He is going around to the left side. Looks like he's going to get left side tires also with that number 48 machine, and he's going to be down and away. 4 tires is the name of the theme here for these Whelen Modifieds. I believe Rich has what happened here for bring out the first yellow at the new Smyrna Speedway.
Yeah, we're most definitely watching the 14 of Hot Rod. He's going to basically come into this corner. Looks like he just gets the rear end loose from under him. As you can see there, he's diving down. Everything looks okay. Rear end gets a little bit loose. It squats on him, locks him up a little bit. It just comes around on him right in front of the 5 of Joe Archer. Luckily enough, nobody got collected into that, and it does not appear that he hit anything. It also, I believe he's going to be able to get back into the pits and get some 4 fresh tires on his car, and he'll be right back into this thing, Todd.
Going to reset your field in your current running order here for the TDR Whelen Modified Series. The number 95 of Stevie Melson, your current race leader. The 28 of Dave Melson is second. Third is the 34 of Dean Woodward. Fourth, the 33, the high side hustler, Martin Karch. Fifth is a 21 of Kelly Horner. Sixth, the 67 of Adam Helm. Seventh, the 069 of Keith Patton. Eighth, the number 48 of Phil Lucas Jr., also known as Racer X 48. He joins us up here in the broadcast booth on DR TV, so he's one of our broadcast partners. Ninth is the number 5, the machine, Joe Archer. 10th is the number 9 of Randy Schneider. 11th is the number 14, Hot Rod of Mike Ross. And 12th is the 18 of Robert Balcom, who I think is still continuing to have some connection issues there, Rich.
Yeah, we saw him blinking out a couple times on the main camera. I'm also got him blinking on camera 2 a little bit, so he's definitely having some connection issues. Hopefully it doesn't mess with him too much, and also doesn't mess with the other cars out there, because as you know, we've ran with some of these guys. We ran on several different tracks that they run on, and a car glitching could end your night. You know, he disappears, and next thing you know, he's inside your car when he comes back. So you never know what's going to happen when a car's glitching. Looks like the pace car is off the track, Todd. They're coming off of turn 4, looking for the flag.
That flagger has the green flag in hand, and he's waving it. Stevie Melson mashes the gas down the front straightaway into corner number 1. Melson holds a car length advantage over the number 28 of Dave Melson. Third place running Dean Woodward now in that number 34 machine. Fourth right now is the 33 of Martin Karch. Karch now looking down to the bottom side of the number 34 of Woodward. Not going to be able to pull off the pass out of 4.
Yeah, most definitely they're going down through the corner single file line still. 33 is currently watching the back end of that 34. Looks like he's trying to figure out a way to get around him. He's got a lot of speed built up in that car. He wants to get up there and mix and mingle with the leader.
Yeah, indeed he does. He was right there running third, right on the rear bumper of the 28 before that yellow came out. Martin Karch, no stickler to finding the front in that number 33 machine, but Dean Woodward's not going to let him by here right now. Dean Woodward, I've never known him to lay over and let somebody go by in that number 34 machine. He's going to make him earn it every inch.
Yeah, most definitely. Something I find interesting right now is the 21 of Kelly Horner. He's kind of just sitting back and riding. Doesn't look like he's pushing it too hard. Going to let Martin use up his stuff in front of him and maybe block traffic for him and then just follow him through. It does not look like Kelly Horner is really pushing it too hard yet. I know we got a lot of ways to go on this track still. We're only on 29 laps of 150. We got a long ways to go, but I think right now the battle is for third place. I think we're going to see the 33 and the 34 go at it for another couple of laps at least.
Yeah, it looks like the number 33 of Martin Karch, he's trying every way to try to get around that number 34 of Dean Woodward. He tries the top side. He's going to try to get that top side to work here all evening long in the number 33 machine. As he dives down to the bottom, gets loose, he's going to get around Woodward down the front straightaway. An amazing pass by that number 33. He's noted for the high side hustling, but now he's sideways. Here comes Woodward back down onto the bottom trying to make another pass.
Yeah, Woodward is not going to give up easily. He's still got it in there. As you see, he gets a little bit loose, but now 21 of Kelly Horner is looking on the inside possibly of Woodward. So with Woodward pushing it harder through the corners, getting that rear end a little bit loose, that's brought Kelly Horner right back up to his bumper. So now he's got to watch his mirror and keep an eye on what Horner does, because if he keeps sliding up like that, Horner's going to get under him one of these corners.
Yeah, Horner just waiting to pounce here as we go through corner number 1 and into 2. Horner looking on the bottom side of the speedway, and that number 21 machine couldn't pull off that pass down the back straightaway. Dean Woodward back down to the bottom, and that number 34 machine protecting that 4th place spot, and that number 34 machine.
Yeah, most definitely. Back through the field, I noticed last time around coming off of turn 2, it looked like we had a lot of side-by-side action. Currently watching Keith Patton. Keith Patton just glitched out, went all the way up the track. He's finally got it under control. Or not Keith, but actually that's the 18 of Roberts back there glitching right in front of Keith Patton. So thank goodness Keith Patton didn't get caught up into that. So now Keith Patton's got his hands busy just keeping his eye on the 18 now. But they were side-by-side for a good lap or two.
Been watching number 67 of Adam Helm. Adam Helm having a good run in that Monster Energy sponsored number 67 machine. He's running 6 right now, waiting for one of these guys in front of him, the number 21 or the 34, to make a mistake. He's going to be right there to pounce, Rich.
Yeah, most definitely. He's running a nice, bright, green, black, and white car. Looks pretty sharp out there. Them green tires are hard to miss, or them green rims, hard to miss. Back on with the 21 and the 34. Looks like the 34 may have slid up a little bit. That's going to give the 21 the shot. He's going to take the inside line going into turn 3. And it looks like 21 Kelly Horner is going to come off of turn 4 in front of Dean Woodward.
Yeah, Horner, move him to 4th. Number 21 machine. Dean Woodward back to 5th. Now he's under fire from the number 67 of Adam Helm. Helm closed the gap, and he's now on the rear bumper of the number 34 machine.
Yeah, most definitely. Dean has his hands full. First it was Martin Karch, then it was Kelly Horner. Now he's got to watch Adam Helm. He's going to have to get that car back in the groove where he was running at so strong earlier, staying up there in that 3rd and 4th place where he was. He's going to have to find it before he wears his tires out, trying to keep these guys off of him.
Yeah, it looks like Woodward struggling here early on in the going here. We got lap number 40 of 150. Yellow flag's going to fly out there on the speedway. They're going to bring out the 2nd yellow here with the TDR Whelen Modified Series at the new Smyrna Speedway. Going to have to see who caused that wreck.
Yeah, most definitely. I'll get busy working down here on the controls real quick. We see if we can't put the main camera on our race leader and see what's going to happen as far as pit stops, because I'm sure we're going to see some pit stops here as the pace car now has the field. And I'll give it back to you, Todd, to go down the pit road with these guys.
And going down pit road, looks like everybody coming down pit road going to be a real busy place. The number 95 of Stevie Melson coming down to the 8 of his pit crew. The 28 of Dave Melson, Martin Karch, Kelly Horner, and Dean Woodward coming down to the 8 of their pit crew. Looks like they're going to take all these cars getting jacked up. Looks like they're going to take right side tires on every single one of these machines. I'm looking at them. And the left side's going up. They're going to take 4 tires, full tank of Sunoco Racing Fuel. They're going to be down and away. Looks like Stevie Melson going to lead the charge off of pit road once again. And the 28 of Dave Melson, 2nd, 3rd is going to be Martin Karch, and 4th Kelly Horner. So as they were running on the speedway, they're going to come back out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to throw it down to Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, who has our replay. What happened, Rich?
Yeah, working the controls here. It looks like once again we're looking at the number 14 of Hot Rod. Looks like he's going to pull off another solo spin. We'll see if we can't keep this up close, see what was actually going on. But it looks like it's pretty simple. Almost the same thing. Rear end gets a little bit loose on him. It's just going to come right around. There's no stopping it from here. Good thing, once again, does not look like he did hit the wall there a little bit. So he's possibly going to have a little bit of right side damage. Doesn't look like anybody else was involved. Just a bunch of smoke, flat spot of tires. Car disappeared. He may have pulled it off the track now. Todd, back to you.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have our first casualty here at the new Smyrna Speedway for the TDR Whelen Modified Series. That's Mike Ross in that number 14 machine, Hot Rod. Going to be retired from this event. Looks like we're going to try to get him up here for an interview in that number 14 machine. Mike Ross, tough break for the number 14. He's retired. Going to finish 12th here at the new Smyrna Speedway.
So we're going to try. We don't know if we got the radio communications going or not yet, but Mike Ross, it's Rich and Todd up in the booth. It looks like you possibly have your sound turned off. If you're available, buddy, check back in with us real quick. We'd like to give you the interview a shame, if you would. All right, it doesn't look like we're going to get a hold of Mike. Maybe we'll be able to chat with him a little bit later. But we're going to go ahead and let him get back down there. And he's probably got a lot going on with his crew right now because of that car is probably damaged enough. But that's our first casualty. As you said there, Todd, the 14 of Mike Ross is currently out of the grand finale event here in the TDR Whelen series, as we have put down 45 laps of 150 laps so far, only one casualty of the event.
Going to reset your current running order here for the TDR Whelen Modified Series as they run right now. Tough break again for Mike Ross in the number 14 machine. Too bad we couldn't interview him as he politely declined our interview, I think. As it looks like we're going to go back to green flag racing. Not going to get through your running order. Steve Melson going to lead him down into one with Dave Melson right there in second. He's got 2 car lengths, maybe even 3 car lengths to try to make up. Great start by the number 95 of Steve Melson.
Yeah, most definitely. Once again, they are single file. Looks like that last corner, Adam Hall might have went up a little high. He has maintained his position, but as you can see, it looks like the 33 is now right on the back end of your second place car, and it looks like he's looking at the high side. We know that he likes the high side. It's going to be interesting to see if he starts pushing that high side to get into second place.
Heavy heat on the number 28 of Dave Melson right now. The 33 of Martin Karch applying a lot of heat on the 28. He don't know which way he's going to go. Martin Karch known for the high side, but he does make bottom side passes with that number 33 machine. So heavy heat for the 28. He's got a mirror full of the 33 of Martin Karch right now.
Yeah, most definitely. Martin is all over him, and look who's right behind him. The 21 of Kelly Horner is just sitting there waiting to pounce. Looks like Martin is trying to make a move on getting on the inside. Caution is now out on the track. That's going to calm these guys down for a little bit. Get back, bundled back up behind the pace car again, and I'm going to get busy trying to find out what just happened for our race fans to view, Todd.
Caution number 3 on the field here for the new Smyrna Speedway and the TDR Whelen Modified Series. 3 yellows so far. Hopefully we're going to have to page Dr. Yellow, or Dr. Green, excuse me, because yellow fever is really coming here at New Smyrna Speedway. We're going to have to get some elixir to fix that disease right now. We don't like to see yellow flags here on DRTV, and I'm sure these drivers don't like to see yellow flags. This is a real racy track at New Smyrna Speedway. We got 3 yellows right now. We're on lap 51 and 150. Been a good race so far. Right now your current race leader is the number 95 of Steve Melson. Second is the 28 of Dave Melson. Third is the 33 of Martin Karch. Fourth is the 21 of Kelly Horner. Fifth, the 069 of Keith Patton. Patton silently coming up into the top 5 in that 069 machine. Going to throw it down to Rich, who has the replay queued up and ready for you, YouTube fans down there.
Yeah, most definitely. We're keeping our eye. The third card back in your replay position right now, that black car, black-looking car, is the 48 of Racer, also known as Phil Lacasse. He's one of our DRTV crew. Looks like he's going to come down into this corner. Looks like it's a pretty average entrance. And all of a sudden it just comes around on him. The rear end breaks loose. He drifts it up a little bit. Joe Archer's able to get hot on the brakes. Just taps him a little bit in the driver's side. Doesn't look like any real major damage. But they're able to get that straightened out. It looks like the only contact is driver's side door possibly of the 48 and the nose of the 5 of Joe Archer. They get their cars rolling again. So that's definitely going to need new tires on the 48, Todd.
Yeah, tough break for Phil Lacasse as he's running right now in 4th position in the points. He's tied with Martin Karch. Karch having a really good run right now, sitting 3rd in that number 33 machine. So that would put Karch by himself in 4th in points in that 33 machine. But tough break for the 48. He's going to have to come to the aid of his pit crew, at least get 4 tires and maybe some damage pounded out on that number 48 machine.
Yeah, most definitely. Good thing short track racing, usually damage is not that big of a play unless you've got some suspension damage or wheel damage or something. A little bit of body damage or Nerf bar damage isn't usually going to cause too much of a big mess. So I think, you know, besides the one car we've lost so far tonight, I think everybody else has still got a shot for this. I think we're still keeping our eyes on the top 5 qualifiers, as those seem to be the fastest guys on the track right now. But I wouldn't count out Adam Holm. He is slowly moving his way up. I know we're staying focused on the 33 and the 21 a lot because they're really putting on a show up front. But I think, Dean Woodward's right there. I think the 67 of Adam is right there. There's going to be a lot of changing going on here in the future. And I think that Dave Melson is probably going to be the sitting duck here before too long.
Bad news for the number 9 fans out there. Randy Schneider retired from the event. Looks like this gearbox could not hold up to whatever was going on the track. Randy Schneider retired, going to finish 11th in the event. So we have 10 cars left here running at the new Smyrna Speedway and the TDR Whelen Modified Series, getting ready to go back to green flag racing. They're going down the back straightaway. So I have to agree with you, Rich. I think Dave Melson's going to be a sitting duck. These guys behind him are really quick, and it looks like Dave Melson might fall to those two guys right directly behind him.
Yeah, most definitely. As the pace car's out, there's single file line on the top groove of the track coming through turn 4. Steve Melson is looking at that flag stand. He's watching for that flag to come out. Green flag is out. They are single file line heading off into turn 1, still single file. Adam Holm was looking a little bit on the inside, but it looks like everything got straightened back out. There's still single file coming down the backstretch, going off into turn 3.
Meanwhile, back up front, battle for that second position. Martin Karch, the high side hustler. He's on the high side in that number 33 machine. He's side by side with Dave Melson going into 1. Martin Karch gets sideways up top. He's dirt tracking, and Melson and Martin Karch make contact. Kelly Horner involved.
Wow, a lot of cars involved there. Quite a few cars. Looks like they're spinning out of control. A couple cars down in the grass up against the inside wall. I'm going to have to go back in our replay cameras and see what exactly happened. But it looks like we might have quite a few cars damaged out of that one, Todd.
Yeah, tough break for the 33 and the 21. Those two guys are running real tight in the points championship hunt right now, and they just were casualties in that last wreck here. As Dave Melson looks like he might have tapped the 33, might have came down. I'm going to have to let Rich review that replay and see what he thinks. But again, we're not admins and we don't make the final decision, so we're not sure what really happened. We just call it like we see it. But the 95 is Steve Melson, your current leader. Keith Patton going to move up to third in that 069 machine. Phil Lacasse, after being involved in that last yellow, he's up to fourth. Robert Balcom in the number 18, fifth. Sixth is the number 5 of the machine, Joe Archer. Seventh is the number 67 of Adam Helm. Eighth, the 34 of Dean Woodward. Ninth, Martin Karch. And 10th right now is the 21 of Kelly Horner. Looks like the number 28 of Dave Melson going to go down pit road and might be serving a penalty for the end of the longest line for that number 28 with his contact involvement in that melee, but not sure. But Rich has the replay queued up. Let's see what happened in slow-mo. Right, Rich?
Yeah, most definitely. We're going to keep our eyes on the 28 and the 33. As you can see on the left, the car on the left, the pink and white 33, that's Martin Karch. We're going to watch him as he goes through. It looks like he gets a little bit loose, gets it sideways, but then they might have made contact, and that was just enough to upset Martin's car, push him out towards the wall. Let's go ahead and switch this camera angle because we've got a lot more cars involved in this as he collects the 21. And it looks like the 67 might have tapped the wall. The 5 of Joe Archer gets loose, comes down into the back end of the 21. That's going to be Kelly Horner. We've got another car back in there behind him. That looks like the 34 of Dean Woodward back there with Martin Karch. So quite a few cars involved in this. Doesn't look like too many got hit too hard. These cars are usually pretty durable unless they got something directly on their wheels with those open wheels up front and all. But I think that most of them probably are going to be okay. Once they get new tires, maybe pound out some Nerf bars or something and get these cars back underway. Todd, back to you.
Yeah, it's not like it's a drafting track where it's key to have the draft on this speedway. You got to have a real good car. It's more of a driver's track. Draft don't play a factor here for these cars. So if you get a little bit of damage, they still can come to the front. But another interesting thing is if they get a little damage, it might even free up their car a little bit more. They may go a little faster. So these guys, if they get a little bit of damage, it's not going to happen. It's going to go down through your current running order. The number 95 is Steve Melson, your current race leader. Behind him is the 069 of Keith Patton. Third is the number 48 of Phil Lacasse Jr. Fourth is the 67 of Adam Helm. Fifth, the 21 of Kelly Horner. Sixth is the 34 of Dean Woodward. Seventh is the number 5, the Machine Joe Archer. Eighth is the number 18 of Robert Balcom. Ninth, the number 33 of Martin Karch. Retired from the event now, the number 28 of Dave Melson. He is another casualty of the event. 11th is the number 9 of Randy Schneider, and 12th is the 14 of Mike Ross. He was our first casualty here at the new Smyrna Speedway. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing out of corner number 4. Flagger has the green flag in hand, and the number 95 puts the loud pedal down the front straightaway. He's going to lead them into corner number 1.
Yeah, most definitely coming off of 2 down the backstretch. Currently sitting in second. Keith Patton, now he's got his eyes set on the 95. Let's see if he's got enough to get back up there with him. The downside is it looks like the 48 of Phil Lacoste is right on the back end of the Keith Patton, of course followed by Adam Helm. So good racers right there. We should see some good racing events. They're going to be pretty calm, pretty cautious. Unless the guy in front of them makes a mistake, then they'll probably make a move. As you see there, Phil drifts up a little bit. Adam's too far back to take advantage of it. But they're pretty much single file as Steve Melson seems to be pulling away just a little bit on your second place car going down the backstretch.
Yeah, Steve Melson, .723 ahead of the number 069 of Keith Patton right now. The 33 of Martin Karch starting to make up some ground on the Machine Joe Archer. Karch is a man on the mission. He restarted in 9th. He got around Balcom. Now he's coming up through.
Yeah, most definitely. We're going to check in with our YouTube chat box right now. We all know this name, James Collins. James Collins races with TDR Whelen Series. We got one off the wall. They get it under control. I didn't want to take away from the race there. A lot of battle going on right now between the 33 and the 069 of Keith Patton. 69 is dropping back. Dean Woodward's going to make his way down below him. But just to give my shout out back as we're watching this side-by-side event and Keith Patton slowly dropping back, James Collins is out there in a plow truck watching the race on his cell phone, guys. What do you think of that?
Phil Lacasse, real loose. What a save by the number 48 machine. He's going to lose a bunch of positions, but he kept it straight and kept it off of everybody in that number 48 machine. He looks like he hit the apron there, Rich, and whoo, he almost went for a ride into the wall and into a bunch of oncoming traffic in that number 48.
Yeah, most definitely good driving by Phil out there in the 48. There's been a lot of good driving. A couple guys bouncing off the wall. These guys were getting double file or side by side. As you can see now, we've got a side by side race going between, I believe it was the 21 of Kelly Horner and the 5 of Joe Archer, as Kelly Horner now gets around Archer and he's got his eyes set on, I believe, Dean Woodward now.
Yeah, it might be the number 33. They look identical. They're
yeah, I got
it looks like the
time.
21. Yeah, it looks like the 21 of Kelly Horner running third, but that was Martin Karch in the 33. Almost identical looking cars, pink and white schemes out there on the Speedway. And Martin Karch right now up to 5th. He's restarted 9th in that 33 machine. I'm going to begin to wonder if he's starting to chew up his tires on that number 33 machine as he's getting loose coming off the corner in that number 33.
Yeah, most definitely. I did get them confused. They do look very similar. As you can see, the distance there between Adam Holm and Steve Melson. Steve Melson's got a strong lead, but now Adam Holm has got clean air, and he's got his eyes set to make up this ground to catch up with your race leader right now.
Yeah, Adam Helm having a good race here. Yellow flag is going to fly on the Speedway once again at New Smyrna. Yellow number 5. It looks like Rich is going to find that replay, see who caused that yellow. Yellow number 5 on the Speedway here for the TDR Whelen Modified Series. Tough break for anybody that was involved in that yellow. But Stevie Melson, your current race leader, Adam Helm second. He was starting to cut into Stevie Melson's lead in that number 67 Monster Energy sponsored machine. Looks like these drivers are going to come down pit road. Here comes Stevie Melson, Adam Helm, the 21 of Kelly Horner, Dean Woodward down pit road. All these drivers coming down pit road. Looks like they're going to get 4 tires. Mr. TV time, Rich Patton, going to have that replay queued up for you.
Yeah, most definitely. We're going to try to keep our camera live out there on the pits and see what's going on as far as those guys all pitting. We're keeping our eye on the 33 in our replay camera. He's got the 5 of Joe Archer right behind him. As he goes into the corner, it looks like he gets loose really quick. He is basically drifting that car through the corner trying to save it. It finally breaks loose the rest of the way. Good thing is it kind of sent him out towards the wall. Doesn't look like anything's going to happen too bad. And then all of a sudden he catches the 48. The 48 goes on his lid as he rolls down the track. That's going to cause some damage for the 48 and Phil Lacasse. Looks like only the 33 and the 48 were involved in this one, Todd.
Phil should know better than to go up on his roof in that number 48 machine. That's not the way you race. You got to keep all 4 tires on the ground, and he did not do that. It's going to be a tough break for that number 48 machine, and it's going to hurt him in that points. As Joe Archer's gunning for his position. Archer only 10 points back in that number 5 machine of Phil Lacasse, and it's going to be a tight race there through the first, second through 5th position in the points. It's going to be tight. Looks like Stevie Melson pretty much got the points championship wrapped up here, considering there is 3 drivers now retired from the event.
Yeah, most definitely. We are just past the halfway point. We're currently allowing lap 76 of 150. What did you say? We're at 5 or 6 cautions already. Only, I believe, 2 cars out of the event. And it looks like the powerhouse of the field right now is the 95 of Steve Melson. We've had a couple different cars up there try to challenge him, but I don't think anybody's been able to get up on his bumper so far tonight, except for earlier in the night when Dave Melson was running with him so close.
Again, going to reset your order. The number 95 of Steve Melson, your current race leader. Adam Helm in that number 67. He's running second. Third is going to be the number 34 of Dean Woodward in that Hatfield McCoy sponsor machine. The number 21 of Kelly Horner sitting in fourth in that Mopar sponsor machine, a Dodge, for the number 21. Fifth right now, the 18. That's Robert Balcom in that K&N sponsored number 18 machine. Sixth is going to be the number 48. That's Phil Lacasse Jr. in the TDR sponsored machine and DRTV. 6 is going to be the number 5. That's the machine Joe Archer. Can't see what he has for sponsors on there, but the number 5 is currently running 6th or 7th. 8th is the number 069. That is Keith Patton. Patton's had a good run here this evening. Kind of been quiet. He's peaked inside the top 5 here a time or two in that 069. And 9th right now running on the field, that's the number 33 of Martin Karch, who was involved in that last yellow. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing here at the front of the field. Flagger has that green flag in hand, and green flag's in the air. The number 95 back up to speed going into corner number 1.
Yeah, most definitely. 95 takes off into 1 and comes out of 2. Adam Holm is trying to stay up with him. Looks like 34 Dean Woodward is staying right with Adam Holm as well. Oh, and Adam slips up a little bit. That's going to give Steve a good jump on the field. Hopefully he can gain that back up. Dean Woodward is just sitting right behind Adam waiting for another mistake. Dean's got his eyes down low. He doesn't have enough. Adam's going to go down in low and kind of cut that path off, but that's going to bring it back up on the high side. Dean is looking down low again as they head down the front stretch off into turn 1.
Yeah, that Monster Energy sponsored number 67 machine of Adam Helm. Helm trying to do everything he can do to hold on to that second position. He is under heavy fire from that number 34 of the Hatfield and McCoy sponsored Moonshine machine of Dean Woodward. Woodward there, look down to the bottom again. He's going to lose a car length to the number 67. Looks like these guys are starting to settle down just a little bit going down the back straightaway, Rich.
Yeah, most definitely looks like there's getting a little bit of distance between them. Adam Holm almost loses it. He fishtails the car. Dean Woodward kind of lets off a little bit, lets him have enough room to regain control, and they are back at it. Dean Woodward, once again, looking down on the low side, just does not have enough to get up there, so he's going to stay settled in behind the 67 right now. But I think if Adam makes another couple mistakes like that, Dean is going to be around him, and then he's going to have his eye set on the 95 of Steve Melson.
Adam Helm again hits the apron, clips it. Here comes Woodward back down to the bottom side, down the back straightaway. Not going to have enough momentum to pass him here once again, but they're through 3 and 4. Helm keeps hitting that apron in the number 67 machine. That's not where you want to run it. And he hits the apron again. Here comes Dean Woodward down to the inside. Woodward side by side with him down the back straightaway, Rich.
Yeah, most definitely. That was the key he was waiting for, the break he was waiting for. Adam goes up really high. That's going to let Kelly Horner get up beside him, and now it looks like Kelly's going to take over third position as Adam drops back from second to fourth in one lap.
Yeah, a couple mistakes by the number 67 Monster Energy sponsor machine of Adam Helm. Helm is trying to make a racing groove on that apron. It's not going to work down there, Adam. Don't know how many times you're going to have to try it to realize it's not going to work. Adam Helm now back to fourth.
Yeah, most definitely. While these three cars have been playing, Dean Woodward, we're watching him now on the track. He is trying to figure out how to make up all of this distance that Steve Melson has been able to create. Steve Melson is just running away up front with this thing right now. Nobody can touch him on the track so far. It's going to take some changing somewhere to get these guys up there with Steve. Steve right now is dominating this field.
Yeah, Melson definitely trying to put that final nail into the coffin and trying to add an exclamation point to his great series here with the TDR Whelen Modified Series. He's had 3 wins, 7 top 5s, and 7 top 10s in that number 95 machine. Steve Melson's had an amazing season here, and he's looking to capitalize and take that win here this evening. Still looking at second place running Dean Woodward. Woodward starting to become under fire by that number 21 of Kelly Horner. Horner starting to close the gap between himself and the 34 machine. There's a car length and a half advantage as he's going through the corner. Going to throw it back down as we have a little bit of breathing room as Horner bounces off the wall in that number 21 machine. Going to throw it down to Rich, who I believe has a DRTV spotlight.
Yeah, most definitely your current points leader and possible TDR Whelen Series champion, Steve Melson, coming out of Kokomo. I believe that's Indiana. I'm sure I'll get shot if it's not. He was running the Havoline Motor Oil in one of the other series we ran. I'm not sure what sponsor it is now. Currently races for RTG. Started in first. Highest position was first. Lowest he's dropped so far today is third, and he is currently your race leader and points leader. Todd.
Been watching the ongoing battle between Horner and Woodward. They were almost side by side. Horner then backed out of it, went back behind the 34 of Woodward, but he's breathing right down his neck, knocking on the door. Woodward has a mirror full of Horner going into number 1.
Yeah, most definitely. Oh, we got one around as it comes out of turn 2. We're going to have to go back and check and see what's going on with that. That's going to bring the caution out. Everybody's going to have to calm down a little bit, gather their stuff back up, get bunched back up behind the pace car. Probably going to see some pit stops and some tire changes and fuel. I'm going to go ahead and let you take these guys down pit road because I'm sure they're going to head that way. We still haven't seen our green flag pit stops yet, so no use for the punt cam. But I will get busy going back, seeing what happened on that replay, Todd, as you take the crew down pit road.
Indeed, I've seen a lot of smoke. All these drivers coming down pit road. We are on lap 96 of 150. We're going to be 97 at the line. And it looks like the number 95 coming today to his pit crew. Also the 21 of Kelly Horner, the 18 of Robert Balcom, the 33 of Martin Karch. Looks like one of the drivers, it looks like it might have even been the 21 of Kelly Horner. Nope, it was the 21 of Kelly Horner. He missed his pit stall there. Had to back up at that number 21 machine. Looks like these guys are going to take 4 tires. Woodward down in the way. Woodward is going to come out second behind the number 95 of Stevie Melson. Melson had another great pit stop. That first pit stall is real key here at any speedway or any short track. You can get on and off without nobody in front of you, nobody blocking you. So Melson is going to come off and assume the lead as soon as we reset here in the number 95 machine. We're going to throw it down to Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, who has our replay. What happened, Rich?
Yeah, we've got our eyes on the 069. That's Keith Patton. Keith Patton's personal best lap today is a 16.626. Started in 11th. Highest position was second. Lowest was 12th. Third. He's currently running third until this happened. His car comes through the corner. Looks like he drifts it a little bit. The rear end finally breaks loose. Does a solo spin. Definitely flat spotting some tires. Taps the wall a little bit. Doesn't look like he hit it too hard. He's able to get that car back under control. Probably a little bit of hammer work in the pits and some fresh 4 tires. I think he's going to be right back into this thing, Todd.
Yeah, tough break for Keith Patton. Going to go down through your fastest laps of the evening so far. The number 33, interesting. He is the fastest car on the track, as he's had the fastest lap on the track with a 16.437. The number 28 is second fastest with a 16.44. And third quick is the number 95 of Stevie Melson with a 16.457. So interesting to see your current leader third fastest. And Martin Karch is the quickest, and he's in the back with that number 33 machine.
Yeah, most definitely. Still our race leader is the 95. Looks like we've still got quite a few of the same names up front. Looks like the 18 of Robert Balkum is making his way back up into third position, but he's still got that glitching problem. We can see him right now on the camera fading in and out on us. So now the 67 of Adam Holm sitting behind him is going to have his hands full to make sure he stays clear of that car glitching and does not get caught up in case he comes right back on top of him or something. Pace lights are out on the pace car.
Yeah, pace lights are extinguished on top of the TDR Whelen modified pace car. The number 95 is Steve Melson's going to lead him down to get the green flag once again. Melson's had quite a few good starts. Looks like he normally puts a car length or two advantage as they go into one over the second place guy. Let's see if Dean Woodward can keep pace with him, maybe even tie a chain to his rear bumper and be right there coming out of two, because you cannot pass till out of two here in the TDR Whelen modified series. So Stevie Melson get ready to get the green flag. Green flag is in the starter's hand. He's getting ready to wave it. Green flag's in the air, and we're back to racing here with the TDR Whelen modified series. Woodward stays right with the number 95 of Melson going into one.
Yeah, most definitely going into turn one. The thing I was watching was the 18 of Robert Balkum and the 67 of Adam Holm. Adam has given him all kinds of room because he is blinking out on him right when he needs to make a move. Because Adam Holm sat back a little bit, it looks like, is that possibly the 21 or the 33 that has made the move to get around him? And now Joe Archer in the 5 comes off the corner. Looks like he was going to go down the inside. We're going to have to go back and watch, or not go back, but go back and put the camera on those guys. There's a lot of battling going on back here for 4th and 5th place.
Yeah, that was indeed Martin Karch. He's moved up to 4th in that number 33 machine. Adam Helm sitting 5th in the 67. 7th right now is Joe Archer, but the 48 of Phil Lucas is on the top side with that 48 machine. Archer does hit the apron there, gets a little bit out of shape coming down the front straightaway. Archer is going to complete the pass around the number 48.
Yeah, most definitely. We got 4 cars nose to tail basically here from the 5 to 48 to 21, and I believe that's the 069 there in last place right now. A lot of good racing going on back here in the back of the field with these guys. A lot of side-by-side stuff. Good to see these guys making passes.
Yeah, really good to see these guys making the passes back up front. We have single file. Melson still 0.28 ahead of Dean Woodward in that number 34 machine, but Woodward not letting him get it. Run away and hide like he has been. Balkum still running third, having some connection issues as you see him blink out on the Speedway. Still having some major connection issues in the number 18 machine, but it's looking to stable a little bit more in number 18. 4th right now is the 33 of Martin Karch. 5th, the 67 of Adam Helm. 7th is the number 5 of Joe Archer, and 8th is the 21 of Kelly Horner.
Yeah, most definitely. Just as you said, the 18 was calming down. He started flipping out real bad on us. I'm not sure if it's going to get fixed or not tonight by itself. He may be a force to reckon with later on in this event as these cars get tightened up and the racing becomes a little bit more challenging. Right now it's good to see that these cars are spread out a little bit. Doesn't make for a lot of side-by-side racing, but it should keep us green flag racing and possibly see a green flag pit stop. We'll have to see how this thing goes. We are possibly in the window right now to where they do not need to stop again, though, Todd.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see another green flag pit stop, but you're going to see tire management become a key factor. Are these guys saving their tires, or are they burning them off? If we go green flag the rest of the way, these guys got to be thinking in the back of their head tire management skills.
Yeah, most definitely. Back up with your leader. It looks like the 95 of Steve Melson is still dominating this track. Dean Woodward in the 34, currently not letting him get that far away this time. He's trying to keep some kind of distance as Dean taps the wall a little bit there. That obviously is going to give him another 1/10 of a second or two lead. As you can see there, the gap is a little bit bigger, but Dean's got a lot of breathing room. There's nobody on his back bumper, so all he's got to do is stay focused on catching up with that leader.
Yeah, Stevie Melson laying waste to the field right now in that number 95 machine. He's setting out to do what he wanted to do, and that is to win this race and put an exclamation point on his season here at the TDR Whelen Modified Series, and he's doing so right now. He is now 1 second ahead of the second place running number 34, Dean Woodward.
Yeah, most definitely. Just looking back through the field with the main camera, it looks like everybody is really spread out. We saw Adam Holmes slip up there just a little bit. Looks like Kelly Horner is going to make the pass now. Adam goes a little bit high, lets Kelly have the bottom side. Very clean pass, very gentleman of Adam to let him by. He did get a little bit loose, and that caused his mistake, so Kelly was there to take advantage of it. Pretty much everybody single file. Looks like we've got caution out on the track. Not sure what's causing this one. We see smoke down in turn 2. I'm going to work on going back and seeing what's going on with that stuff for us, Todd.
Yeah, as you were talking about that, Rich, and when you were covering the number 21 of Kelly Horner, Horner laid down the fastest lap of the night in that number 21 machine. He came in with a 16.434. Looks like the number 48 might have been involved in that. It looks like he made even radio reports are saying that he blew fourth gear. Phil Lucas, tough break for the number 48 machine. Fourth gear, gone. Should have tightened the transmission up a little bit more there. He's going to have to blame his pit crew on that one. Going to throw it down to Rich. TV time, Patton with our replay.
Yeah, most definitely it is Racer X. The Racer X 48, also known as our DRTV crew member, Phil Lacasse in the 48. He's going to take this thing down the track into the corner a little bit. Looks like it's going to get a little bit loose on him. As he gets into the corner, we'll watch as this plays out. Gets a little bit loose. The rear end comes out from under him. Puts the nose down on the apron. He's currently sitting sideways. Going to come back up just enough on the track. The next car coming by, as he starts to turn around, 69 of Keith Patton gets right into the side of him, and it's going to flip his car over a time or two and pretty much ruin the rest of Phil's night. So I think now that Phil is done out on the track, we're probably going to drag him up in here and try to get an interview with him. Maybe we'll see if he can stick around in the booth for a little bit. Todd, back to you. I'll get him on the radio in just a second.
Yep, looking to reset the field, looking to see what other cars dive down pit road. Looks like Melson and them have come down pit road. Looks like Robert Belcom in the number 18 machine stayed out, and he is going to assume the lead with Dean Woodward running second in that 34.
Yeah, most definitely. I was able to get Phil Lacasse on the radio. Phil, are you okay, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good. Car was a little off there toward the end there. You guys saw me probably get my roof here a little bit ago. But just trying to keep it out of trouble and come off of 2, and rear gear blew out of 4th gear and just sent me around and tried to get out of the way. And I don't know if the 069 saw me or not, but he cleaned my clock pretty good, but it was pretty much over for me anyways. And too bad, and I think we could have salvaged maybe a top 5. I started to come forward a little bit, but unfortunately for the TDR number 48, it's an early night. So I guess I can hang here with you guys for a minute.
Yeah, I hear that. Now, you were in a points battle with Martin Karch, currently tied for 4th. Wasn't sure if you had a shot for the lead, but possibly had a shot to move up in the points. How bad do you think this is going to hurt you now moving up? Do you think you're going to drop back, or you think you're okay? It looks like you're about 10 points ahead of Joe Archer, so it's going to be interesting to see where Joe Archer finishes now, whether it's going to affect you or not.
Yeah, I think as long as Joe, though, win the races, I think he may have a piece that can. I don't know, he's had a strong piece, it looked like, mid-pack. But if he don't win the race, I don't think he can beat me in points. So I think with attrition, I don't think our second place point guy, Frank Devins, was here tonight. So I think I'll probably end up now off the racetrack, probably in the 4th spot. So I can take that. I mean, it's been a star-studded field here all season long, so I'm pretty proud of finishing 4th in this series.
Well, 10-4, we'll be proud to let you stay up here as they come off of turn 4, look down the front stretch, take the green flag. It looks like we've got a new race leader in the 18 of Robert Walkman, Todd.
Yeah, Robert Balcom in the number 18, leading him down to get the green flag. He got the green flag, and he is now your current race leader with a 34 of Dean Woodward running second, a 33 of Martin Karch running third. 4th is a 21 of Kelly Horner, and 5th was the dominant car all evening long, the number 95 of Stevie Melson. Melson now looking low. I see him peaking low. It looked like he's peaking low of the number 21 of Kelly Horner. Horner on the top side of the speedway. The 95 of Stevie Melson dropping down to the bottom, trying to get around the number 21.
Yeah, most definitely. You know that there's going to be a lot of battling going on right now. Melson has the car of the field. He's got the motor. I'm not sure how long he's going to sit back in 5th place where he's currently at. But I'll tell you, the good thing right now is the 18's out front. With him blinking, he is pretty fast. Doesn't look like Dean Woodward's got anything for him yet. So I think things might be safe on the track for a little bit, but it's going to be interesting to see what the 21, 33, and 95 all do here in the next few laps. They also got the 5 with Joe Archer right behind him as well.
Yeah, Melson trying to look down to the bottom side of Horner once again. Not going to be able to pull off the pass as they go down the back straightaway. Now Horner on the back bumper, the 33 of Martin Karch. Karch in 3rd right now. He's going to drift up the track, leave the door open for the 21 of Kelly Horner. Horner side by side with Karch going into 3 and out of 2. And it's not going to be able to pull off the pass. It's going to fall back into line behind the 33 of Martin Karch.
Yeah, most definitely. These cars are getting bunched up. Looks like 95 might have got loose a little bit. They're still saying single file. Is that Martin Karch going high on Kelly Horner?
That's indeed Kelly Horner going high on Karch, and they're going to go 3 wide. Melson down on the bottom side. Melson trying to get around Karch in that number 33 machine.
Oh my goodness, almost 3 wide going into the corner. Good thing Melson was paying attention and able to let out of it and let Martin have that position. That was danger looking to happen. They're back single file now, but that was intense 3 wide racing in the Whelen series at New Smyrna down the backstretch. Amazing.
This time by, we complete 128 of 150. We got 22 laps to go. Robert Balcom, your current race leader. Woodward trying to run him down in that number 34 machine. He is right now about 2 car lengths back of the number 18. Horner setting sail for the top 2 right now. Horner all by himself in that number 21 machine. 4th is the 33 of Martin Karch. Karch is sideways there going through the corner. The number 95 of Melson trying to get around him. Melson looking low, looking high. He can't get the job done. Here comes the 5 and Archer into the wall hard in that number 5 machine.
Oh, that was literally amazing. It looked like the 95 and the 5 were both swerving to miss each other. I'm not sure if someone got loose getting on the brakes or something. It looked like the 95 was going to go sideways right up the track into Archer. Archer made actually a smart move and went high immediately. He might have tagged the wall, for doing it, but at least he's still running. Green flag is still out. As you can see now, 95 has regained himself, and he's trying to make a pass on the outside as they go side by side off into turn 3.
Oh, Karch around. He's going to collect Melson. Melson into the wall, and Karch hard into the wall, and the number 5 of Archer involved. Also, it looks like he's going to clip the number 95 of Stevie Melson. Melson. Oh, tough break for Melson. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time as Karch went around.
Yeah, that was utterly amazing. We'll go back and get a replay on that, but it looks like Archer came in there, really had nowhere to go, clipped the front of Melson's car, and meanwhile Martin Karch obviously got into the wall with Melson. We're going to go back and get that on replay for our race fans to watch, but what excitement going on. These guys look like they're starting to race hard, and we've got just under 20 laps to go, Todd.
Yeah, as they go across the start-finish line, 16 laps to go, lap 134 of 150. Your current race leader is the number 18 of Robert Balcom. Balcom up front in that number 18 K&N sponsor machine. Second is the number 34. That is the Hatfield and McCoy Moonshine machine being driven by Dean Woodward. Woodward sitting second. He was starting to close the gap between himself and the 18 of Balcom there, but it's going to be interesting to see if these guys are going to take tires or go down pit road. I don't think you're going to see them with 16 laps to go down pit road. Keith Patton sitting third in the 069 machine. Fourth, the 21 of Kelly Horner. Fifth, the 67 of Adam Helm. Sixth is the number 5 of the machine, Joe Archer. And seventh, your current points leader, Stevie Melson, is rounding out your field as also retired from this event, the 33 of Martin Karch. Karch, too much damage on the number 33 machine. He's pulled it behind the wall. The 48 of Phil Lacasse Jr. is ninth. He is out. Also out of the event, Dave Melson, Randy Schneider, and Mike Ross rounding out your field. I'm going to throw it down to Mr. TV Time, Rich Patton, with our replay.
Well, there you have it. We're going to watch this from a distance. We're keeping our eyes on the number 95 of Steve Melson. It looked like he might have gotten the worst of this situation, but as you can see, they are coming down the backstretch side by side in slow motion. 33 Martin Karts on the inside, 95 Steve Melson on the outside. They go in nice. Looks like Martin got the rear end loose around him. Looks like Melson just tried to stay up above him to avoid it, and they both ran out of racetrack right into the wall. Unfortunately, they come down the banking of the racetrack right in front of Joe Archer. Looks like he tried to slow up, but there was just not enough time. Got him involved, so there you go. 3 cars involved, the number 5, the 95, and the 33. Looks like the 33 might have taken it into the garage. Meanwhile, the 5 and the 95 continue down the track to take the caution, Todd.
Yeah, got to be a tough break for the 5 and the 95. Steve Melson been the dominant car all night. I don't know how much damage he got out of that. The 5 of Joe Archer really got hard into him there when they were coming through. You got to have a split second to think and try to get around these accidents, and they just happen so fast on this half-mile track here at the new Smyrna Speedway. Sometimes you just don't have enough time to think. A split second's not enough time. Sometimes you need 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah, most definitely. And there's a wall out there, so it's not like you can go up to avoid everything. Sometimes there's just no avoiding it, and I'm pretty sure that's what Joe Archer was stuck with, because when he comes through that corner and saw 2 cars spreading across the track, he really didn't have anywhere to go either. So that's definitely going to change the field up a little bit. The 18 Robert Bauman is still your race leader, but he is followed very closely by the 34 Dean Woodward. We're counting down the laps here. Look who's sitting in 3rd place. The 069 of Keith Patton. He has made his way up to 3rd place so far. So different guys up front. They're coming off of turn 4, watching the flag stand, Todd.
Green flag in the air. Robert Balcom going to lead them down the front straightaway with Woodward right there in tow. They are only a car length between them coming through 1 and 2. Off of 2 down the back straightaway. Balcom continues to lead by a car length over the 34 of Dean Woodward. Yellow flag is going to be out there on the speedway once again here at the new Smyrna Speedway.
Well, that one certainly didn't last long that time, did it, Todd? Smoke. Looks like Adam Hall might have been leaving that smoke trail back there. We're going to have to go back and check the replay, see what happened with Adam. But put us right back into caution real quick, Todd. Let me get back there and see what's going on with them smoke clouds.
Not sure what happened on the speedway. Not sure what caused that. Going to run through your lineup. Robert Balcom right now loving these yellows in that number 18 K&N sponsor machine. Balcom has had some good runs here in the past in the TDR Whelen Modified Series and hasn't been able to pull off a win yet so far. Be great to see him in victory lane in that number 18 machine with all the issues he's had this tonight and even the last couple of races. It could be good to see Balcom in victory lane, but also Dean Woodward has not had a win. He's another good guy to have in victory lane. Keith Patton don't have a win on the season here at the TDR Whelen Modified Series. He's 3rd, and it'd be interesting to see. So right now, your top 4, even Kelly Horner and the number 5 of Joe Archer, those guys, the top 5, do not have a win here in the TDR Whelen Modified Series. So we might see a new face here in victory lane. Looking at Stevie Melson coming down pit road in that number 95 machine. Looks like he's going to just drive through the pits. I'm not sure what he's doing. He might have got some service and I missed it. In that number 95 machine, he's going to join the tail end of the field. Nope. It might have even been his fault. He might be serving under the longest line penalty. Not sure. Did not hear in-race communications. Going to throw it down to Rich TV Time Patton with our replay. What happened, Rich?
Yeah, most definitely. We're going to keep our eye on 3 cars during this event. The 67 of Adam Holm, as you can see there, the green and black car. The 95, the red car behind him, of Steve Melson. And then, of course, the 5 of Joe Archer, the orange, white, and blue car, it looks like. Looks like everything's fine. Joe Archer comes in, catches the apron a little bit, regains control, never makes contact, but the 95 got into the back of the 67. That's going to put the 67 around, but that's going to force Archer to come up to miss the 67. The 95 clips Archer's right rear corner, and that's going to spin them around and get everybody else involved. So it looks like Everybody's just trying to find the hole to go through, and none of them picked the right hole, evidently. Doesn't look like too much major damage. I don't think we really got completely going off of that green flag start, so maybe just to slow down the race event a little bit and get these guys back under control and get back to green flag racing, Todd.
So again, your current running order, the 18 of Robert Balcom, still your race leader. The number 34, Dean Woodward, sitting second. Third is the 069, the KG Old Veteran in Keith Patton. Fourth, the number 21, Gunner, Kelly Horner. Fifth is the number 67 Monster Energy Sponsor Machine. That's Adam Helm. Sixth is the number 5. That's the Machine, Joe Archer. And seventh is your current points leader, Stevie Melson. Melson going to have a long way to hoe here with 6 laps to go when we get back to green flag racing, Rich.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm going back through the standings. It looks like I thought I had 9 cars left, but it doesn't appear to be that many left. I think we're down to 7 cars now. As the pace cars off the track, they're coming through turn 4. The 18 of Robert Balkman is watching that flag stand. Green flag comes out. Everybody is up and running. Dean Woodward is looking low right away. They go side by side, off into 1 and 2. They come off of 2. Dean Woodward gets a little bit loose. He regains it. They are still side by side going off into 3, Todd.
Yeah, they're still side by side. Under 10 to go, you can pass before turn 2. And Woodward going to capitalize and take the lead from the 18 of Robert Balcom. Balcom's trapped on the high side. Here comes Keith Patton in the 069. That's a battle for the second spot. Woodward, now your leader.
Whoa, the 95 just comes up off the track right in front of the pack. Luckily, he gets out of the way. The 18 is right on the back bumper of the 34. They are definitely dueling it out around New Smyrna tonight. We've got about 4 laps left to go, and it is a major shootout with these top 3 or 4 cars right now.
Yeah, major shootout. Robert Balcom, he is in the mirror of the 34. Dean Woodward, 3 to go at the line. That number 34 currently leading Patton down on the inside of Balcom. Balcom trying to go on the defense now. He was on the offense. He's going to slam the door shut on the 069 of Keith Patton. And right now, Balcom trying to make a high side maneuver on the number 34 of Dean Woodward. 2 to go at the line.
Yeah, they're definitely running out of room. The top 5 cars are getting bunched together ever so much as they come off of turn 2. Down the backstretch, single file, Adam Holm currently in fourth, looking low. Dean Woodward gets a little bit loose. He straightens it up. The 18 gives him enough room to recover. They're still single file. Adam Holm still in fourth, trying to figure out how to get below Keith Patton. Meanwhile, the 34, your race leader, goes off into 3, still leading this event. They are getting out of control up front. It's getting heavy.
White silk in the air one more time around the speedway. Balcom gets into the back of Woodward. Woodward around. Here comes Keith Patton. Oh, all kinds of carnage on the speedway. Patton has the race lead. Here comes Adam Helm. Helm down to the inside trying to go around the 069 of Patton. He's not going to do so. Patton coming out of 4. Looks like Keith Patton's going to win this race in the 069.
Oh my goodness, it looked like the 67 was all over the bumper of the 69 as they were going through turn 4, coming off of turn 4. A lot of contact going on. We're going to see, I don't think we've got enough time. We're going to go back and see if we can get that replay of that start or that caution where it first started involving the 34 and the 18. I believe that's where everything started. We'll get that up on the replay for you in just a moment. But it looks like your race winner is going to be the 069 of Keith Patton, Todd.
Yeah, indeed. Unofficial standings. I believe the admins are going to have to review this one, but the 069 of Keith Patton, your winner. Second will be the 67 of Adam Helm. Good run for the Monster Energy Machine. The number 5 of the Machine, Joe Archer, another good run. He's going to finish third. Fourth, the 21 of Kelly Horner. Fifth, the 18 of Robert Balcom. Sixth, the 34 of Dean Woodward. And rounding out your top 7 that are on the track, 4 laps down, that was your points leader, Steve Melson, and your new champion here in the TDR Whelen Modified Series, Stevie Melson, crowned champion here. Even though he finished 7th, he is the champion. Great run, great series for the number 95 of Stevie Melson. Rich has the replay queued up downstairs. Rich, that was a wild finish. What happened?
Yeah, I definitely had to cover this because a lot of stuff happened in these last couple of laps. Race fans, I know you wanted to see this again. You've got to see how this played out. This was just an amazing finish. We're going to keep our eyes on the 18 and the 34 for right now. As you can see, the 18's blinking in and out a little bit. The 18 is trying to make an outside move. It looks like he clips the right rear corner of the 34. He backs off a little bit, hoping he could save it, but that's definitely going to put the 34 around. Catches the back left rear corner of the 18. Let's pan the camera out a little bit, see what else smoke happens there as they come off of the corner. Let's go ahead and move our cameras over to Adam Holm and watch what happens between Adam Holm and Keith in the 069. It looks like it is a drag race down the backstretch. So it looks like they're going to go 3 wide into this corner, and they are all 3 wide. Looks like Joe Archer locks his brakes up, going through the corner, coming off the corner. You know they're racing back for the caution. The 67 is all over the back of the 69, just pushing him, trying to get around him, does not have enough room. The 069 is going to take that checker or that caution flag, which is going to give him the win. So very exciting finish here at New Smyrna, Todd. Amazing finish. I did not expect to see the cars up front that ended up front tonight.
No, I did not, and that was an amazing show that they put on there. Wild finish, all kinds of carnage on the Speedway. What a way to end the TDR Whelen Modified Series here this evening. Again, we're getting the unofficial, that's the unofficial standings. We're going to interview the unofficial top 3, and your current points finish, I believe it's going to be your champion is Stevie Melson. Melson's going to finish in 7th tonight, but he's going to be your champion here in the TDR Whelen Modified Series. So we're going to go through your finishing order unofficially. Stevie Melson is going to be your TDR Whelen Modified champion, but finishing first here tonight in the New Smyrna 150, Keith Patton in the 069. Second was the 67 of Adam Helm. Third was the machine Joe Archer. Fourth, the 21 of Kelly Horner. Fifth, the 18 of Robert Balcom. Sixth, the 34 of Dean Woodward. And seventh is Steve Melson, 4 laps down. He led 110 laps of this event, most laps led, but he did not lead the most important lap. That was the last lap. 8th was the number 33 of Martin Karch. 9th, the 48 of Phil Locast Jr. 10th is the number 28 of Dave Melson. 11th would be the number 9 of Randy Schneider, and rounding out your top 12, that's Mike Ross, Hot Rod, in the number 14. I'm going to throw it down to Rich, who I believe has caught up with our 3rd place finisher, the machine, Joe Archer.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm sitting down here on back in the pits with Joe Archer, the number 5, finished 3rd place tonight, buddy. That was an exciting finish. How did you feel? What did you think? Did you think you were going to end up where you were at?
No, not at all. I didn't really know what was going to happen there. A couple cars got into it a little bit, got loose, and I was just trying to find a hole, and I came on to turn 4 there, and I think I might have clipped a little bit of the 21 of Kelly's car. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but it was a hard-fought race.
Yeah, most definitely. It was a pretty calm race for the most part. We saw you get involved in a couple cautions early on. Good to see you back up here towards the end. Congratulations on your 3rd place finish. Anybody out there you want to give a shout out to while I got you on the air, buddy?
Oh, I definitely want to take a shout out to my fiancée Rochelle. Beautiful lady, sticks with me all the time during this, and my 2 little girls at their grandma's house watching me tonight, and just want to say hi to them. Love you.
All right, race fans. Well, there you go. The number 5 of Joe Archer coming out of Blue Streak Motorsports, racing over here in the TDR Whelen Series finale race tonight. Finishes 3rd place. I'm going to go ahead and throw it back up to Todd, and I believe Todd's going to have the 67 of Adam Holm on the radio. Todd?
Yeah, indeed, I've caught up with the driver of the Monster Energy number 67, Adam Helm, who finished 2nd here tonight in the New Smyrna 150. Adam, that was a crazy end to the event, and you finished 2nd. Tell us about the closing laps of that event.
Well, the closing events, I didn't really think I had anything. But then an accident happened up front. Didn't really see what had happened, but like I say, is just at the right place at the right time.
Well, Adam, you were indeed at the right place at the right time. It looked like you even had a shot at the 069 of Keith Patton. If that would have went one more lap, you think you could have got around Patton?
I kind of feel I did, or I could, but I'm not gonna say I could have. But I kind of feel that I could have.
Well, Adam, I believe this is the first time you've been up here in the booth with us and being interviewed. Adam, I'm going to give you the mic. Who do you like to thank here this evening for this great event?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you guys. Also, I'd like to thank my clan that I race with, is All Star Racing Group. And I'd like to also say Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Just thought maybe I'd throw that out. But that's all I really got to say, and thank you to all.
Well, again, that's the driver of the Monster Energy, number 67. That's Adam Helm, bringing home second here in the New Smyrna 150. I believe Rich is caught up with our surprise race winner here at New Smyrna, the driver of the 069, Keith Patton.
Yeah, I'm down here fighting the crowd. There is a big crowd around this 069 little wheel and modified car here. It's amazing. Keith, you won the finale here at New Smyrna in New Smyrna Beach, Florida. How do you feel, man?
I feel pretty good, but it was given to me. I'll take it any way I can get it.
I'll tell you that was one crazy finish there at the end. Looked like coming off of turn 4. Adam was right on your bumper, pushing you as hard as he could. Wasn't sure if he was trying to push you out of the way or trying to push you so nobody else got around him. But that was one heck of a fight to that caution flag in order to get the win of this race. So I'm not quite sure it was given to you. I think you had your hands full right there at the end, buddy.
Yeah, I was fighting him off. I knew he was a little faster than me, so I had to hold him off. But with them other two guys up front there, that was their race. But oh well, I'll take them the way I can get them.
Yeah, 10-4, I hear that. Well, you know I've raced with you. Todd up here has raced with you. We like racing with you. You're usually a good, clean driver. It's great to see you win this thing. Anybody out there you want to give a shout-out to, the mic is all yours, buddy.
I just want to thank TDR and DTR TV for you guys televising this and for all the hard work Racer X does and to put this series together.
All right, well, there you have it, race fans. The winner of the TDR Whelen Series season finale, Keith Patton in the 069. Congratulations, buddy. We'll let you get back to partying with your crew and the rest of the drivers down there. It was one heck of a race, man. I'm glad you got it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Todd, I'm going to throw this back up to you. I believe have a little bit of a glitch there. I believe Todd has our TDR Whelen Series champion.
Yeah, I have caught up with the driver of the number 95, Stevie Melson, our TDR Whelen Modified Series champion here this year. You had a great season, Stevie. Didn't pull off the victory here this evening, but you still came up on top, and that's the most important part. You won the series.
Yeah, I didn't have a great race tonight, but I'm glad I had the points lead I did going into this one. Just a little dejected with that race, but I'm sure it'll sink in a little later that I did win the championship.
Well, Stevie, I know the championship is the most important part of any of these series. I know a win is great, but the championship's even better. And I know that's going to sink in here later on in the going. I know you're dejected about the race here this evening, but tell us about your season and your ups and downs. And I know you had 3 wins on the season, and I believe it's going to be 7 top 5s on the season. So you were real consistent all season, but you can tell us a little bit about the season and people you would like to thank here that made it happen.
Yeah, the season started off all right. I ran at the front at the beginning of the year. We had quite a few cautions in the series towards the beginning of the season, but it got better as the season progressed. Got a few wins in there, and got to race against my dad and my brother, which is always a fun thing to do. And didn't really get into too many wrecks or cautions, barring the 1 or 2 that I got into tonight. But I just want to thank you guys at DRTV, and I want to thank the guys at TDR for putting the series on. It was a lot of fun, and just want to let you guys know that there was a Cup Upstart team, and they shot me line and want me to run next Saturday night in the DRTV 300. So I think I got a ride prepared for that race.
So you're going to be full time in the TDR DRL Premier Cup Series this whole season?
Well, that's the goal. The team wants to run the full schedule. There might be the odd race that we can't get to, depending on finances and whatnot. But hopefully we can make it all and we can run for the championship in that series.
Again, congratulations on the TDR Whelen Modified Championship. You get to host that trophy up in the air proudly, and you get to be the first ever champion. Nobody else can say that. You're the first ever TDR Whelen Modified Series champion here live on DRTV. I'm going to throw it back up to Rich. Again, congratulations. Rich, you have any questions for Stevie?
No, Steve, I'm just glad you made it, man. Great championship. You've already thanked everybody out there. I don't know, what more I could say to you other than it was a heck of a season. You're a real competitive driver, and I'll tell you, if a few of those incidences did not happen tonight, it looked like you were definitely going to be the car to beat. So, I mean, you've raced enough to know that sometimes things just happen on the track, and sometimes you just can't avoid them. And there's always next week. That's the way we always think as drivers. And you put on a good show regardless, and you were able to capture the first time ever TDR Whelen Series champion. So hats off to you, buddy. You might not have got the small goal you wanted tonight, but you got the big goal, what counts. Congratulations, Steve.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, well, there you have it, Todd. Another race under the belt for DRTV and the TDR Whelen Series. We've got a busy schedule coming up, Todd. Why don't you tell our race fans about that before we sign off tonight?
Well, yep, coming up tomorrow night, we're going live on the air at 6:15 p.m. Eastern Time with the Blazing Pedals Bermuda Triangle 500. 500 miles is going to be the distance. I believe it's going to be 188 laps with the Blazing Pedal crew over there. 35 cars, I believe, have entered that field. That's going to be one whale of a show. Tuesday night, we got up and coming the Blue Streak Motorsports Mikey Jones 500 at Daytona on Tuesday. I believe that's going to go live on the air at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. It's going to be a good show. Also, Mikey Jones 500 for a guy that just recently passed away and holding a heavy heart for them over there at Blue Streak, and we are too. Looking forward to these up-and-coming events. And then next Saturday night, the DRTV 300. That's the most anticipated event here for the DRTV and TDR and DRL leagues. That's going to be an interesting event. I believe so far 30 cars have signed up. 5 more entries are allowed into that event. So if you haven't signed up for the DRTV 300, run over to tdr-racing.net and sign up for the DRTV 300, Rich.
Yeah, most definitely. A lot of big shows, a lot of lengthy shows coming up with a lot of car counts. So we're looking at some major events coming up. Very busy week for the DRTV crew. I'm keeping you guys on your toes for sure. The leagues involved are keeping me on my toes, so it's a good thing. It's good to be busy, and I'm glad we're putting on this show for our race fans out there. So to all the race fans out there that participated in our show in the chat box and got to watch us live tonight, and for all of you that are watching us recorded later, hats off to you for sticking in there, watching the event. Hope you enjoyed it. And Todd, I think we're about ready to kick it off and get out of here tonight. What do you think?
Indeed. On behalf of myself and Rich Patton pushing all the controls down there in TDR Racing League and the TDR Whelen Modified Series, we did crown a champion here this evening. The number 95 of Stevie Melson. Melson, the first time ever TDR Whelen Modified Series champion here live on DRTV. I'm Todd Stanton signing off. We'll see you here tomorrow night at 6:15 p.m. Eastern Time for the Blazing Pedals 500 at the Bermuda Triangle. Good night, everyone.